Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video we have had a complete disaster. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Like I say, in today's video I'm going to show you that I've had a complete disaster. This tank behind me, this is all redone now, but I was sat here on the phone to my friend and all of a sudden I could hear trickling, and it turns out that this had sprung a leak and was pouring almost 120 litres of water all over the floor. So I'm going to show you a video now that I took at the time. It was late hours at night and we were cleaning it up till 1 AM. So that has just emptied itself. I managed to get the siphon going, but all over the floor I've had to pull all of the rocks out, all of the plants. It's gone all in the drawers, which had all my food in it, which is on there. So I've now got the fish in there with a small sponge filter. I've put my other sponge filter in there just for now, which I didn't really want to do because of the blackbeard algae problem in that tank. I can't put them in there because that's cold water and they're warm water. So I've literally just got chaos everywhere. I've got my heater on trying to dry it out. Now I've got an empty tank with a leak, and that's the tank that I resealed. So I've only got myself to blame. I thought I'd done a good job. Apparently not. But it's split where that tub is. So now tomorrow I'm going to have to set up the cichlid tank to put all of the platies in, whilst I empty and reseal this. So now I don't know whether to make that into a cichlid tank and that into a platy tank, but this one's 190 litres, this one's only 120. So although that's probably fine for the platies, it might not be alright for the cichlids. So that was my eventful evening. It's now 20 to 1 in the morning. We've just finished. I'm absolutely soaked from head to toe. All I can say is the silver lining on this is the fact that I was in here when it happened, because otherwise I'd have an empty tank, a completely soaking floor and a lot of dead fish. So I managed to save all the fish, both the shrimp, hopefully the snails are on the plants. I even managed to save 3 baby fry, which I couldn't find any more. I'm sure there was more in there, but I did what we could. So I'm going to go and have a shower and I'll be back with you for the rest of the video. So we're just on our way to the Maidenhead Aquatics at the garden centre, because I'm going to try and get some of the sealant. I think it's a company called Golden, and basically you can use it to seal underneath water as well. So that way I should be able to seal the tank back up and then put everything back in it straight away. Because I remembered after the panic last night that the corner tank has actually got bits that need resealing as well, so I can't just chuck them straight in there. So we're going to go to the garden centre now and see if we can find some of that in their stock. Okay, so the Maidenhead Aquatics didn't have what I needed, so we went to an independent store a bit further away. I've managed to get this weather sealant. It was in the pond section, but it says it can adhere to glass and it can be used underwater. So I'm going to give it a go and hopefully it doesn't leak. I don't know whether to remove the sealant that I put on there previously and then do this, or whether to just put this on top. Yeah, don't really want this to happen again, so I'm going to be extra safe this time. So I better get home and crack on, I suppose. Right, I've just finished sealing it. I've made a right mess. I checked the tank around and it all seemed okay other than this front bit. This front bit along here had all little bubbles in the silicone. So I have pushed all the sand back, dried it off. I've cleaned it with alcohol to get rid of any oils and greases, and I've sealed it along the front here on the inside and on the outside. Like I say, I've made a right mess. Look at that. What a state. The water's taken the paint off. All of my floors absolutely drenched. But never mind, eh? Inside here, so I've sealed it all along. It was going really well and really neat, and then it didn't. So I'm going to leave that for 24 hours to cure. The fish are still doing okay in the other one. Alright, so it's the next day. It's all set. I've filled it up, so we're going to test it. I've stirred up all the sand so I can get all the grime out of it whilst I'm doing it, because then that will all filter out. It's been like that for about an hour now. It's not leaking yet. Touch wood. Doing a water change on the shrimp tank. I'm currently siphoning out the piranha tank. Oh look, hello. Hopefully that will stay sealed. Okay guys, so I didn't show it filling up. As I was about to film it filling up, the hose popped off and completely soaked the floor again. So that went out the window. Sorry, no filler up please for this one. But as you can see, it's now completely rescaped, replanted, full up. It's been full now for 2 or 3 days. Touch wood, we haven't had any problems. All of the fish made it. The only casualties we had were 2 shrimp, but they were the feeder shrimp that we had the little experiment with. Sadly, they passed away from the stress of everything going on, but the piranhas enjoyed eating them. There's still 1 shrimp left in there, and that one seems quite happy. I've seen the little fry swimming around, so they're all okay. I took the 2 adult Java ferns out and took all of the new saplings. I don't know if that's the word for it. I took all of the new ones that have sprouted off the end, and as you can see here on this rock, this one, there, at the back there, up here, and on here, I've glued them on to rocks and things, so they will now grow into new colonies of Java fern, and once they've grown, I can either sell them or move them into different tanks. I have also got another 3 or 4 in a bucket over here, so that's good. Panic over. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it all turned out, and I'm glad that there's been no real casualties. Everything else in the summer house is doing really well. The piranhas have doubled in size. I don't think I've mentioned yet in any videos, we did get some shrimp, some little red Neocaridina cherry shrimp. So they're just there in the shrimp tank. We added 10. I think there's about 8 that made it, so that's not too bad. The original aquarium is still having major blackbeard algae issues, but that's probably the most healthy aquarium that I've got, water quality wise and fish wise, and everything doing really well, because blackbeard algae is not dangerous to the fish, it's just a pain in the arse and it doesn't look very nice. So that tank's currently on a blackout, so I've covered it all up. Still got the oxygen going into it and the filter on, but it's covered up for now to try and reduce the light so that it kills off the algae. It shouldn't damage any of the plants, they should be fine. And then just a few plants around it, just so it is really simple. All of my water parameters are fine, so I don't really know why it's flourishing so well. But yeah, if it carries on, I am going to buy a fish. You shouldn't buy a fish to fix a problem. You should find the root of the problem and fix that. But it's just prolific, this blackbeard algae. It's a pain in my arse. Me and Blackbeard need to be having words. I'm not having it. Get out of my tank. So I'll take you over now and show you the other tanks. So yeah, as you can see, all of the rocks are absolutely covered in the algae. Quite a lot of the plants are covered in algae. The glass is covered in algae. I literally scrubbed this tank last week with the exfoliating gloves, so there's no reason why there should be that much in there. There's obviously something that's unbalanced, but I'm not overfeeding them, they're not having too much light, there's loads of plants to use up the nutrients, so I'm not sure. So this is part of the shrimp tank. You can see 3 down there in the bottom left corner, munching away. Oh, there's 4 actually, there's one at the back as well. What you can see over here, there, that's one of the foods that I feed them, and you can actually leave any in that they don't eat. and it basically forms this white fuzz on it, which is called mycelium. It's the same thing that mushrooms grow from, and that's not harmful for them, and they will actually eat that as well. So as you can see, the other tanks are doing really well. I'm hoping to set up the corner tank soon, but I completely forgot that parts of that need resealing as well, but I need to get the razor blade out, clean off some of the limescale build-up and calcium deposits off the glass, find the holes, fill them, blah, 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 blah. So I need to do that at some point. I'm glad that these are back in here and I didn't end up having to put them in the corner tank. So that's all good. So yeah, it all ended well in the end. So although it was very stressful in the early hours of the morning with water all over the floor, I've had to throw away my rug. No matter how much I left the heater on in here, I had it running for like 3 days constantly to get rid of all the damp in here. But the rug just stinks. It's so thick, it just soaked it up like a sponge. So that's gone. But hey ho, we didn't lose any fish, so it's all good. So if you've liked what you've seen in today's video, guys, even though liking a disaster is a bit sick, how sick of you. No, if you've liked what you've seen in today's video, guys, drop a thumbs up. Don't forget to join the family and click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you're notified next time I upload. Hope you have a good week, guys. Bye!